Ninguém que vem chamar a calma de voltar. O céu quebrado ilumina sonhos. Já a caminho de novo lar. E a tempestade por fim passou. Não se ouvem passos no corredor. Ninguém que vem chamar a calma de voltar. O céu quebrado ilumina sonhos. Já a caminho de novo lar. Bosques, veredas que eu conheci, visões teu poder chegar a ti. Abismos onde eu voei, promessas que eu tentei, enganos meus, amor a Deus. Abismos onde eu voei, promessas que eu tentei, enganos meus, amor a Deus. Leva na memória cada beijo que eu te dei.
Number one, how does your partner come?
Yes.
Yeah.
Can you care to elaborate?
I mean, how could they not?
I think in some ways interpersonal issues affect our creative process more than with other colleagues. I feel like when we have to be particularly sensitive because there's so much more we're dealing with than
Right.
music whenever we're interacting, and so we need to make sure that we're taking care of each other in our relationship as well as our creative life. And when we're not doing that, I think it shows up a lot quicker than if I have a colleague that maybe I'm not getting along with on a certain day. Usually you can kind of get away with it, but that doesn't happen with us when we're working together because we're so we're so close and we deal with whatever we're dealing with.
Yeah, that's true. I second all that. Nate's laugh.
You're like
I was gonna say your heart.
Aw.
Yeah, and but specifically musical, I would say your your passion, your diligence. Like, no matter if Nate has a deadline or a project he's working on or whatever, he comes home and works on music every day because he wants to, because it's his passion. And I find that really inspiring. I'll hear him working on something down the hall and I'm just like, oh, that's so cool. I don't do that. I don't have that, like, working on it every day even without a deadline. And so it's made me do it more. Yeah.
That's sweet. I'm inspired by Becca's constant open-mindedness with music in the way that she's will never judge something based on like a snap decision. It's always accept it first. And I find that super inspiring, whether it's songwriting or rehearsing her own music that she knows so well with Attacca, for example. Will play something differently than how she's used to be playing it, how she's used to hearing it, different from how she wrote it. And her first reaction is, oh, that's different and that's cool. And I just love that, how that, and I think that's how she lives her whole life, and it's been a big inspiration for how I want to live my life too. I mean, I have changed dramatically as a musician since I've met you. I grew up as a pretty solid classical musician. Like I was always interested in stuff outside of classical music, but I always felt like it was out of my reach. And ever since I've known Becca, she's been encouraging me to not be pulled back by this classical boundary that I made up for myself. And I've been able to explore music in such a deeper way, whether it's some of the jazz language that she speaks so well and she's helped me understand better, or it's a willingness to go into electronic music in a way that she sees I have a passion for and encourages me to go off and not worry about whether I'm allowed to as a violist or as a classical musician. And I have to say I'm almost an entirely different musician than when I first met Becca because of her.
Oh my gosh. Ooh.
Those aren't real tears.
No. Just my finger right down my face. I mean, the first thing that comes to my mind is arranging sensibilities, because you're such an incredible arranger, especially string arranging. And being in Nate's world and orbit, I've heard so much more like beautiful string music and classical music and incredible arranging that I've heard him do from start to finish, like in our home, coming through the walls. And like thinking about arranging and thinking about strings in a different way. I grew up with like strings and orchestral music and stuff around, but it's been a completely different experience living with a string player and living with such an incredible arranger. And then the other thing that comes to mind is freedom. Like the way that Nate accepts my music makes me feel more free as a writer. Like I feel free to express in whatever way I feel moved to.
In the interaction?
Musically partner. In the banter, probably peer, because in a relationship you have like more potholes and like landmines and stuff, but with a peer you're more in the practice of like speaking in a peer way, like we were saying.
Also, I feel like
now it's happening. No, I'm just kidding.
I feel like we also don't need to explain very often when we're like not into that.
Right.
Like so often when like you play something that I'm not into, you're just like, you don't like it. I'm like,
you can read it in your face.
And it's not like we have to be like, Becca, I need you to sit down. I need to tell you something. I really hate this chord that you wrote.
Yeah, I think it's when you know someone so well, it's harder to hide how you really feel.
Yeah, I think there's the truth. Playing music. Yeah, back in 2013 in San Diego, I was playing with a group called Dakota. Becca was playing with a group called Becca Stevens. And we did a collaboration that actually is now turning into the record that is coming out this week, or at least the first single is coming out this Friday, $45 on GroundUP Music. Becca Stevens and the Attacca Quartet, and we hope you listen to it. It's the conclusion of our love story. Not really the conclusion.
No, not the conclusion. No, it's the beginning.
This is where we announce we're done.
So on April 22nd, when the record's released, we break up.
We're just trying to sell more records. But
This is a PR relationship.
We've been working on this record deal for 9 years.
Actually, we have been working on this record in many ways for 9 years, and it spans the course of our relationship of knowing each other,
but not the end.
And not the end. And the whole thing comes out on April 22nd on GroundUP Music, and the first track comes out on Friday. And it's $45, which
To
is
buy the
song,
record.
No, which is the song that Max and Priya covered of ours in the Couples in Music series.
And actually, this music is all free because you don't have to pay for music anymore.
Someone's editing this, right?